Captain Kim Jun-ho stood on the bridge of the EDF Thunderchild, his eyes fixed on the main screen. 7 large alien ships had entered Earth's solar system 3 days ago. They moved slowly as if they wanted to be seen. "Any response to our messages?" Kim asked. Lieutenant Park Ji-won shook her head. "Nothing yet, Captain." Her fingers moved quickly over her console. "They're still coming closer. We'll reach Mars orbit in 2 hours." Kim nodded. He was a tall man with short black hair and calm eyes. 20 years in the Earth Defense Force had taught him patience, but this was different. This was humanity's first contact with aliens. "Send another message," he ordered. "All frequencies, all known codes." "Yes, sir." The bridge was quiet. Everyone knew what was at stake. Humans had wondered for centuries if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer. Admiral Lee from Earth Defense Command appeared on the side screen. "Captain Kim, we have new orders for you." Kim straightened his uniform. "Yes, Admiral. The aliens have finally responded. They want to meet. You will take a shuttle and meet their representatives near Mars." The Admiral's face was serious. "This is a diplomatic mission, Captain. Earth's future may depend on it." "Understood, sir." After the call ended, Lieutenant Park moved closer to Kim. "I don't like this, Captain. We know nothing about them. That's why we're meeting them." Ji-won. Kim smiled slightly. "Don't worry. I'll take a small team. The Thunderchild will stay at ready alert." Park didn't smile back. "Just be careful, sir." 3 hours later, Kim sat in the shuttle with 5 crew members. Dr. Han Min-soo, the science officer, checked his equipment again and again. Security officer Choi Da-hyun kept his hand near his weapon. "We're approaching the meeting point, sir," the pilot said. Kim looked out the window. The alien ship was waiting. It was smooth and silver, with strange blue lights along its sides. It was bigger than their shuttle, but smaller than the main alien vessels. "Open a channel," Kim ordered. The communications officer nodded. "Channel open." "This is Captain Kim Jun-ho of the Earth Defense Force. We come in peace and friendship." There was a moment of silence. Then a strange voice answered in perfect Korean. "We receive you, Earth vessel. We are the diplomatic corps of the Galactic Council. Prepare for docking." Kim raised his eyebrows. "They speak our language." Dr. Han looked excited. "They must have analyzed our broadcasts. Amazing technology." The shuttle connected with the alien ship with a soft thud. Kim stood up and straightened his uniform again. "Remember," he told his team, "we represent all of humanity today." The door opened. The aliens called themselves the Vraxians. They had blue skin and large eyes. Their leader was Admiral Krill, who spoke with a strange accent but used perfect grammar. "The Galactic Council has watched your world for some time," Krill explained. They sat in a round room with soft lighting. "You are the newest intelligent species in our sector." Kim nodded politely. "We are honored to join the galactic community." Krill made a gesture that might have been a smile. "Yes, there is much to discuss. Your species has developed quickly." Dr. Han asked many questions about alien science and culture. The Vraxians answered some but avoided others. Kim noticed they never mentioned military matters or the exact number of species in their council. 2 hours into the meeting, one of the Vraxian officers whispered something to Admiral Krill. The alien leader's expression changed. "Is something wrong?" Kim asked. "Your vessel," Krill said slowly. "The large one. It has activated scanning systems." Kim shook his head. "Standard procedure. Nothing to worry about." One of the Vraxian security officers stepped forward. He seemed agitated, speaking quickly in an alien language. He pointed at a screen showing the Thunderchild. "Please tell your ship to stop all scans," Krill said. His voice was colder now. Kim took out his communicator. "Thunderchild, this is Captain Kim. What's happening?" Lieutenant Park's voice came through clearly. "Standard security scan, sir. We detected energy buildups in the alien fleet and followed protocol. Before Kim could respond, the agitated Vraxian officer shouted something and pulled out a weapon. Dr. Han stood up. "Wait, there's a misunderstanding." The alien fired. A beam of green light hit Dr. Han in the chest. He fell without a sound. "No," Kim shouted, but it was too late. Chaos erupted in the meeting room. The Vraxian security team fired more weapons. 2 more of Kim's crew fell. Security Officer Choi managed to shoot one alien before being wounded. Kim grabbed Choi and dragged him toward the shuttle connection. "Fall back. Now." The pilot was already at the controls when Kim and Choi stumbled into the shuttle. "Go," Kim ordered. "Emergency disconnect." The shuttle broke away from the alien ship with a screech of metal. Alarms blared as the pilot pushed the engines to maximum. "Thunderchild, we need immediate extraction," Kim shouted into his communicator. 3 crew members down. "We are under attack." The shuttle raced away from the alien ship. Behind them, smaller vessels were launching from the Vraxian craft. "They're pursuing us," the pilot said, her voice steady despite the danger. Kim moved to the co-pilot seat. "Evasive maneuvers. Head for that asteroid cluster." The shuttle dived between large space rocks. The alien ships followed, firing green beams that melted stone where they hit. Thunderchild responding. Lieutenant Park's voice came through. "We're moving to intercept." "Hold on, Captain." The pilot's controls sparked as a beam grazed the shuttle, losing power to the right thruster. Kim took over the navigation system. "I've got it. There's the Thunderchild." The human warship appeared around the edge of a large asteroid. It was small compared to the main alien vessels, but it was humanity's most advanced ship. Its black and gray hull absorbed light rather than reflecting it. The Thunderchild fired warning shots across the paths of the pursuing alien craft. The EDF ship's weapons were kinetic projectiles, not energy beams like the aliens used. "This is Lieutenant Park G1 of the EDF Thunderchild." Her voice broadcast on all frequencies. "Cease pursuit of our shuttle immediately." The alien ships hesitated, then resumed their attack. "Get us into the landing bay," Kim told the pilot. The shuttle limped toward the Thunderchild as the warship moved between them and their pursuers. The alien ships fired at the human vessel, but the shots dissipated against advanced armor. "Landing bay doors open," the pilot confirmed. As they entered the safety of the Thunderchild, Kim looked back at the wounded security officer Choi. "Get him to medical immediately." "Yes, sir." Kim ran from the shuttle to the bridge, ignoring the pain from a wound on his arm. When the doors opened, Lieutenant Park turned to him with relief. "Captain, are you—" "Status report," Kim interrupted, moving to his command chair. Park straightened. "The alien fleet is moving. All 7 major vessels are changing position. The smaller craft are returning to their ships." "Show me." The main screen displayed the alien fleet. Their silver ships were forming a line between Earth and Mars. "They're creating a blockade," Kim said quietly. "Sir," the communications officer called. "We're receiving a transmission from the alien fleet." On screen, Admiral Krill's face appeared. His blue skin seemed darker, his large eyes cold. "Captain Kim, I regret the incident during our meeting. Your officer misunderstood our intentions and threatened us with weapons." "That's not what happened," Kim replied firmly. "Your security officer fired first, killing 3 of my people." Krill made a dismissive gesture. "Humans are clearly not ready for proper galactic diplomacy. The Galactic Council has declared a containment action. Earth is now under quarantine until your species can be properly educated." Kim stood up from his chair. "Admiral, this is a sovereign system. Your ships have no authority here. We have the authority of 7 advanced civilizations, human. Your primitive vessel is alone. The rest of your fleet is too far away to help. Stand down and prepare to accept our guidance." The screen went dark. Lieutenant Park looked at her captain. "Sir, what do we do now?" Kim's face was grim. Send an emergency message to Earth Defense Command. Tell them exactly what happened. He turned to look at the tactical display. Then prepare all systems for combat. Against 7 alien warships, Park asked quietly. They came to our home, killed our people, and now they want to blockade Earth. Kim's eyes were hard. If they think humans will surrender without a fight, they're about to learn differently. He looked at the crew on the bridge, men and women who had trained for years, never truly believing they would face this moment. This is what we prepared for, he told them. 1 ship or 100. We are the Earth Defense Force. We stand between humanity and whatever threats come from the stars. The tactical officer, a young man named Yoon Hanbin, spoke up. Sir, I'm detecting energy buildups in the alien fleet. They're preparing weapons. Kim nodded. Send this message to all alien vessels. Warning, a human warship is here, and this battle will never be what you expect. The Thunderchild moved forward, a single black ship against the silver line of alien vessels. The first battle between humanity and the stars was about to begin. Supreme General Zextal arrived 6 hours after the failed meeting. His massive command ship joined the 7 Vraxian vessels already blockading Earth. 4 more warships followed close behind. 12 ships total. Lieutenant Park G1 reported on the bridge of the Thunderchild. They formed a complete blockade pattern around Earth's orbital paths. Captain Kim Jun-ho nodded. His face showed no fear, but inside he worried. The Thunderchild was tough, but it was just 1 ship against 12. The rest of Earth's small fleet was scattered across the solar system, too far away to help quickly. Any word from Earth Defense Command? He asked. Yes, sir. Park handed him a data tablet. New orders. Kim read the message twice. Then he looked up at his crew. Earth is mobilizing all defenses. Our orders are to buy time. Keep the aliens busy while our other ships gather. How much time do they need? Tactical Officer Yoon Han-bin asked. 3 days, Kim said. Somehow, we need to keep the aliens talking or distracted for 3 days. The bridge was quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. The Thunderchild might not survive that long against so many enemy ships. Sir, Communications Officer Ba Jin-ho called out. The large alien ship is hailing us. On screen, Kim ordered. The main view screen showed a blue-skinned alien with decorated armor. He was taller than Admiral Krill and had scars on his face. I am Supreme General Zextal of the Vraxian Empire, leading member of the Galactic Council, the alien said. You are Captain Kim of Earth. Kim stood straight. I am. What do you want, General? Admiral Krill has told me of the unfortunate incident. Your species is clearly dangerous and unpredictable. Your officer fired first, Kim said firmly. We came in peace. The alien general made a dismissive gesture. It does not matter now. The Council has decided. Earth will be contained until your species can be properly integrated into galactic society. And if we refuse? Zextal's large eyes narrowed. Then we will demonstrate our power. 1 city should be enough to convince your leaders. Kim stepped forward. If you attack Earth, we will defend ourselves. The alien general actually laughed. With what? Your 1 small ship. Our science officer has analyzed your vessel. Your technology is primitive compared to ours. The screen split to show another alien. This one wore what looked like a lab coat. I am Dr. Tulnak, Chief Science Officer, the new alien said. Your ship uses chemical propulsion engines and physical projectile weapons. We abandoned such technologies thousands of years ago. Kim said nothing. Let them think the Thunderchild was more primitive than it actually was. You have 6 hours to convince your leaders to surrender, General Zextal said, or we will destroy your ship and then demonstrate our weapons on your planet. The screen went dark. Lieutenant Park looked at her captain. 6 hours isn't 3 days. No, it's not, Kim agreed. We need a plan. In engineering, Chief Engineer Lee Sun-min worked quickly, her hands moving from one panel to another. The engine room hummed with energy. 20 crew members followed her orders, preparing systems that had never been tested in real combat. The phase shift drive needs more calibration. Lee told her assistant, "If we try to use it now, the ship might tear itself apart." The door opened, and Captain Kim walked in. "How are we doing, Chief?" Lee wiped sweat from her forehead. "The regular systems are at full capacity, sir. But the experimental systems," she shook her head, "they're not ready." Kim looked at the glowing core of the ship's main engine. "We might not have a choice, Sunman. The aliens have given us 6 hours before they attack." 6 hours. Lee's eyes widened. "That's not enough time for proper testing." "I know. Do what you can." Kim put his hand on her shoulder. "The people of Earth are counting on us." On the bridge, Tactical Officer Yoon studied the alien ships. "Their energy signatures are different from ours," he told Captain Kim. "They use some kind of plasma-based weapon system." "Weaknesses?" Kim asked. "Hard to tell without seeing them in action, but their shields seem to flare when they power up weapons." Yoon pointed to his screen. "That might be a moment when they're vulnerable." Kim nodded. "Good work. Keep analyzing." Lieutenant Park approached the captain. "Sir, I have an idea. It's risky, but it might buy us some time." "I'm listening." "The aliens expect us to either fight or run. What if we do something unexpected?" Park's eyes were bright with intensity. "What if we send a small team to board their command ship?" Kim stared at her. "Board their ship? How would we even get past their defenses?" "A stealth shuttle. If we launch during their next scan cycle, their sensors might miss us. We could attach to their hull, find a way in, and maybe disrupt their communications or gather intelligence." Kim considered this. It was dangerous, maybe even impossible. But if it worked, who would lead this mission? Park stood straight. "I would, sir, with your permission." 2 hours later, a small black shuttle detached from the underside of the Thunderchild. Lieutenant Park sat in the pilot's seat. With her were 4 crew members, 2 security officers, a communications expert, and an engineer. "Shuttle Dark Star away," Park reported quietly through her secure channel. "No sign they've detected us." Captain Kim's voice came through her earpiece. "Good luck, Lieutenant. Be careful." The shuttle's engines were nearly silent, using a new technology that absorbed their energy signature. They moved slowly toward the massive alien command ship, staying in sensor shadows as much as possible. "Their scan cycle is coming," the communications expert whispered. 10 seconds. "Kill all systems except life support," Park ordered. The shuttle went dark. They floated, holding their breath as the alien ship's powerful scanners swept past them. For a moment, Park thought they had been detected. Then the scan moved on. "Systems back online," she ordered. "Take us in close to that section." She pointed to what looked like a maintenance hatch on the alien ship's hull. The shuttle moved carefully until it was just meters from the giant vessel. The engineer used a special tool to attach them to the hull without making sound or heat. "We're secure," he reported. "I can cut through this panel, but it will trigger alarms." Park nodded. "Wait for my signal." She checked her weapon and looked at her team. "Once we're in, we move fast. Find the communications center, plant the disruptors, and get out. No heroics." Her team nodded. They had trained for space combat for years, but no one had ever actually boarded an alien ship before. They would be the first humans to do so. "For Earth," Park said quietly. "For Earth," her team repeated. Back on the Thunderchild, Captain Kim prepared for battle. He knew the boarding mission was a long shot. The real plan was to keep the alien fleet busy until Earth's other ships could arrive. "Sir," Communications Officer Ba called. "General Zextal is hailing us again." On screen, the alien general appeared, looking impatient. "Captain Kim, 4 hours have passed. Have your leaders made a decision?" "They're still discussing the matter," Kim said calmly. "This is a big decision for our world. There is nothing to discuss. Your choices are simple: surrender or be destroyed." Kim needed to buy more time. "Perhaps if you explain more about this integration process. How would it work? What would it mean for Earth?" The alien general seemed surprised by the question. "Your species would be assigned a proper place in the galactic hierarchy. Your resources would be managed by the Council. Your technology would be guided in appropriate directions. So we would lose our independence. You would gain stability," Zextal countered. "No more wasteful conflicts. No more inefficient use of resources." "I see," Kim nodded as if considering this. "And if we wanted to maintain our self-governance?" The alien's patience was clearly wearing thin. "That is not an option. Primitive species cannot be allowed to develop unchecked. The last time the Council allowed this, an entire sector was destroyed in the resulting war." "We are not like other species," Kim said. "No, you are more unpredictable, more dangerous." Zextal leaned forward. "Your time is running out, Captain. 2 more hours, then we take action." The screen went dark again. Chief Engineer Lee's voice came through the ship's communication system. "Captain, you need to come to engineering. I've made a breakthrough with the phase shift drive. On my way." Kim stood up. He looked at the tactical display showing the 12 alien ships surrounding his one vessel. Somewhere out there, Lieutenant Park and her team were attempting a dangerous mission on the alien command ship. Earth's other warships were racing to join the fight, but they were still far away. For now, the Thunderchild stood alone against the might of an interstellar empire. 1 ship against 12. But it was a human ship. 2 minutes until their deadline. Communications Officer Ba Jinho announced on the bridge of the Thunderchild. Captain Kim Junho stood tall, his face calm. Inside, his heart beat fast. The choices he made in the next hour would affect all of humanity. "Chief Engineer Lee, status report," he said into his communicator. Lee Sunmin's voice came through clearly. "Phase shift drive is at 82% functionality, Captain. Not perfect, but it should work for short bursts." "Good enough." Kim looked at his bridge crew. "Tactical Officer Yoon, are weapons ready?" Yoon Hanbin nodded. "All systems ready, sir. Kinetic projectiles loaded. Point defense systems active." "Any word from Lieutenant Park's team?" Kim asked. "Nothing yet, sir," Bay replied. "They're maintaining radio silence as planned." Kim took a deep breath. "All hands, battle stations. This is not a drill." Red alert lights flashed throughout the ship. Crew members ran to their positions. The Thunderchild hummed with energy as all systems powered up to maximum. "Sir, we're being hailed," Bay reported. "It's General Zextal." On screen, the alien general's face appeared, looking smug. "Your time is up, Captain Kim. What is Earth's answer?" Kim stood straight. "Earth will not surrender. We choose freedom." The alien's expression hardened. "Then you choose destruction." He turned to someone off-screen. "Target their engines first. Disable their ship." "We are ready to defend ourselves," Kim said firmly. "Warning, a human warship is here, and the battle will never be what you expect." The alien general laughed. 1 primitive ship against 12 advanced warships. This will be over quickly." The screen went dark. "They're powering weapons," Yoon reported. Kim sat in his command chair. "Evasive pattern delta. Hold fire until I give the order." The Thunderchild moved suddenly, changing direction in a way that surprised the alien fleet. The first volley of plasma weapons missed completely. "They didn't expect that," Yoon said, surprised. "Humans have been fighting wars for thousands of years," Kim replied. "We learned a few things along the way." On the alien command ship, Lieutenant Park Ji-1 and her team moved quietly through dark corridors. They had entered through a maintenance hatch and disabled the local alarms, but they needed to stay hidden. "Which way to the communications center?" Park whispered. The communications expert checked his device. 2 levels up, about 300 meters forward. They found a lift tube and used it to move upward. When the doors opened, 2 alien guards stood there, looking surprised. Park didn't hesitate. She fired her stun weapon twice, and both aliens fell. "Drag them in here," she ordered. "Quick." Her team pulled the unconscious aliens into the lift. One of the security officers took their weapons. "Different design, but the trigger seems obvious," he said, examining the alien gun. They moved forward carefully, hiding whenever alien crew members passed by. Most of the aliens seemed focused on battle preparations. Announcements in the alien language echoed through the ship. "We're close," the communications expert said. "Just around this corner." Park peeked around the corner. A large door was guarded by 4 armed aliens. "Too many to take by surprise," she whispered. "We need a distraction." The engineer reached into his pack. "I have just the thing." The battle in space had begun. The Thunderchild moved with unexpected speed and agility, dodging most of the alien weapons' fire. When plasma beams did hit, they struck layers of special armor that absorbed much of the energy. "They're trying to surround us," Yoon reported. "That's what we want," Kim said. "Chief Lee, is the phase shift drive ready?" "Ready as it'll ever be, Captain." "On my mark. Now." The Thunderchild shimmered and seemed to fade slightly. For 3 seconds, it existed partly in another dimension. The alien targeting systems couldn't lock onto the ship during this time. The Thunderchild passed directly through the firing line of 2 alien vessels, emerging behind them. "Fire main weapons," Kim ordered. The human ship launched kinetic projectiles. Solid metal rods accelerated to incredible speeds. They slammed into the rear of one alien vessel where its shields were weakest. The alien ship shuddered, then lost power to its engines. "Direct hit," Yoon shouted. "Phase shift drive needs 10 minutes to recharge," Lee reported from engineering. "Back to evasive patterns," Kim ordered. "Standard weapons only." The 11 remaining alien ships adjusted their tactics, trying to predict where the Thunderchild would move next. But the human ship didn't follow any standard pattern. Sometimes it charged straight at the aliens. Other times it made sharp turns or rolled to present different armor sections to enemy fire. "They're confused," Yoon said, watching the tactical display. "Their formation is breaking." "They've never fought a ship that moves like this," Kim replied. "They expect us to use the same tactics they do." On the alien command ship, a small explosion rocked a corridor far from the communications center. As planned, guards ran toward the distraction. "Now," Park ordered. Her team rushed forward. The remaining guards at the communications center turned too late. The humans fired their stun weapons, and the aliens collapsed. "Get inside, quick," Park said. They entered the communications center. 3 alien technicians reached for weapons, but the humans were faster. In seconds, all aliens were unconscious. "Plant the disruptors," Park ordered the engineer. "Comms, start downloading their tactical data." The engineer placed small devices on key communications equipment. "Disruptors active. They'll scramble all ship-to-ship communications for about 20 minutes once I trigger them." The communications expert connected his device to an alien console. "I'm in their system. Downloading now." Park kept watch at the door. "Hurry. We don't have much time." In space, the battle intensified. The Thunderchild had damaged 2 more alien ships, but was taking damage itself. A lucky plasma shot had penetrated the armor on the lower deck, causing a fire. "Damage control teams responding," Yoon reported. "Fire on Deck 4 is contained. Phase shift drive ready for another burst," Lee called from engineering. "Good." Kim studied the tactical display. "Their flagship is coordinating all attacks. If we can disrupt that coordination." Just then, the alien ship's formation suddenly became chaotic. Several vessels nearly collided with each other. "Sir," Ba called out excitedly, "the alien fleet's communications just went down. Their signals are scrambled." Kim smiled. Lieutenant Park's team did it. Now's our chance. Target the vessels closest to us. Fire all weapons. The Thunderchild launched another barrage of kinetic projectiles. Without coordination, the alien ships couldn't combine their shields effectively. The human weapons found weak points and exploited them. 2 more alien vessels lost power. Another spun out of control, its engines damaged. Activate phase shift drive, Kim ordered. Take us right through their line. The Thunderchild shimmered again, becoming partly ghost-like. It passed through the alien blockade formation, firing weapons as it went. The aliens couldn't track it properly during the phase shift, and their return fire hit only empty space. When the phase shift ended, the Thunderchild was on the other side of the alien fleet. 4 enemy ships were now disabled or heavily damaged. "Sir," Bay reported, "I'm receiving a transmission from Lieutenant Park." "Put her through." Park's voice came through with static. "Captain, mission accomplished. We've disabled their communications and downloaded tactical data. But we've been discovered. We need extraction, soon." "Understood. Head to extraction point Alpha. We're on our way." Kim turned to Yoon. "Plot an intercept course to their command ship. We need to get our people out." "Sir, that means going right back through their fleet." "I know." Kim's face was determined. "We don't leave our people behind." The battle had been raging for 30 minutes. The Thunderchild had taken heavy damage, but was still fighting. 7 alien ships were now disabled or destroyed. 5 remained operational, including the command ship. "Phase shift drive is overheating," Lee warned. "One more use might burn it out completely." "We'll save it for extraction," Kim decided. "Standard weapons and evasive maneuvers until then." The Thunderchild continued to surprise the aliens with its unconventional tactics. Instead of maintaining distance like most space vessels would, it sometimes moved extremely close to enemy ships, firing point-blank into vulnerable areas before pulling away. On the bridge, a console exploded. A crew member was thrown to the floor. Medical teams rushed in to help. "Hull breach on Deck 3, Yoon reported. "Emergency force fields holding." Despite the damage, the human ship fought on. The remaining alien vessels were clearly shocked by the unexpected resistance. Their carefully planned blockade was falling apart. "Sir," Ba called out. "Lieutenant Park reports they've reached the extraction point. They're ready for pickup." "Time for one last trick," Kim said. "All power to forward shields and engines. Chief Lee, prepare the phase shift drive for its final use." The Thunderchild accelerated directly toward the alien command ship. The remaining alien vessels fired desperately, trying to stop the human ship. "Phase shift in 3, 2, 1, now." The Thunderchild shimmered and passed through the enemy fire unharmed. It approached the command ship's hull where Park and her team waited at an airlock. "We see them," Yoon reported, extending docking tube. For a tense 30 seconds, the Thunderchild held position, while the boarding team raced through the docking tube back to their ship. "They're aboard," Yoon confirmed. "Disengage and get us out of here," Kim ordered. "Maximum speed." The phase shift drive failed in a shower of sparks, but it had done its job. The Thunderchild pulled away from the alien command ship, its conventional engines straining. "Sir," Ba said with awe in his voice, "sensors are detecting multiple ships entering the system. It's the Earth Defense Fleet. They came early." Kim allowed himself a small smile. "Send them our tactical data on the alien vessels. Tell them where to hit the weak points." As the Earth fleet engaged the remaining alien ships, Kim looked at his damaged bridge, his injured but proud crew. "We did it," he said quietly. "We showed them what one human warship can do." 3 days after the battle, Captain Kim Jun-ho lay in the medical bay of the Thunderchild. Bandages covered burns on his arms and chest. A medical device beeped steadily beside his bed. The door opened, and Lieutenant Park Ji-won entered. She had a small cut above her eye but looked otherwise unharmed. "Captain," she said with a smile, "how are you feeling?" Kim tried to sit up but winced in pain. I've been better, but I'll live. How's the ship? Chief Engineer Lee says it will take months to repair all the damage. The phase shift drive is completely burned out. Kim nodded. And the crew? Park's smile faded slightly. We lost 12 people, 28 injured, including you. They died protecting Earth, Kim said quietly. Their sacrifice won't be forgotten. Park pulled a chair closer to the bed. Sir, a lot has happened while you've been recovering. The Earth Defense Fleet arrived just in time. They destroyed or captured all remaining alien vessels, and General Zextal, captured alive. His command ship surrendered after we left. Kim closed his eyes for a moment. The battle had been brutal, but they had won. One human warship had stood against 12 alien vessels and survived long enough for help to arrive. There's more, sir, Park continued. The tactical data we downloaded from the alien ship contained their entire communication network. We now know the locations of all 7 species in the Galactic Council. Kim's eyes widened. That's valuable intelligence. Yes, sir. And there's something else. Park leaned forward, her voice excited. Earth Defense Command had a secret. They'd been building ships for years in hidden facilities on the Moon and Mars. 30 new warships, all with technology even more advanced than the Thunderchild. 30 ships? Kim was shocked. Why wasn't I told? Top secret. Only a few people knew. They were afraid the aliens might have spies on Earth. The door opened again. Admiral Lee from Earth Defense Command walked in. He was an older man with gray hair and a serious face. Captain Kim, the Admiral said, "Good to see you awake. You've earned a place in history, son." Kim tried to salute but couldn't raise his arm properly. "Thank you, sir. Just doing my duty." "Your duty may have saved our species." The Admiral sat on the edge of the bed. "The Galactic Council has sent a new diplomatic team. This time, they're treating us with respect. They've seen what one human ship can do," Park said proudly. Admiral Lee nodded. "Exactly. The new diplomats arrived yesterday. They were surprised to find 30 advanced warships waiting for them." "What do they want now?" Kim asked. "Peace talks. Real ones this time." The Admiral smiled slightly. "They've offered us a seat on the Galactic Council." Kim raised his eyebrows. "That's unexpected." "Not really. The aliens have a practical approach to power. We've proven we're too dangerous to ignore and too resourceful to defeat easily." The Admiral stood up. "The peace talks begin tomorrow, and they've specifically asked for you to attend, Captain." "Me?" Kim was surprised. "I'm not a diplomat." "No, but you're the human who showed the galaxy what we're capable of. You commanded the ship that changed everything." 1 week later, Captain Kim sat in a large meeting room in the United Nations building in New York. His injuries were healing, but he still moved carefully. Lieutenant Park stood behind his chair as his aide. Around the table sat representatives from Earth's major nations. Across from them were the 7 alien species of the Galactic Council. The new lead diplomat, a tall female Vraxian named Telesur, spoke in perfect English. "The Council acknowledges that our first contact with humans was poorly handled," she said. "Admiral Krill and General Zextal have been removed from their positions." Earth's lead diplomat, Ambassador Chen, nodded. "And what happens now?" "You mentioned membership in your council." "Yes. After reviewing the battle data and studying your species more carefully, we have decided that humans would be valuable additions to our alliance." Captain Kim spoke up. "As equals, not subjects." Telesur turned to him. "Yes, Captain. As equals. Your species has demonstrated capabilities that surprised us." A small alien with green skin and 4 arms leaned forward. "Your phase shift technology is particularly interesting. None of our species developed anything similar." "And your military tactics," added another alien who looked like a tall insect. "Using maneuvers from naval warfare and space combat. Most innovative." Kim exchanged glances with Lieutenant Park. Their primitive technology and tactics had turned out to be their greatest strengths. The aliens had become so used to fighting in certain ways that they couldn't adapt when humans did something different. We are prepared to offer Earth full membership in the Galactic Council, Telesur continued. This includes protection, trade agreements, and technology exchange. In return, we ask only that you share your unique approaches and join our joint defense forces. Ambassador Chen looked at the human representatives around the table. We will need to discuss this privately. Of course, Telesur agreed. We will withdraw while you deliberate. After the aliens left, heated discussion broke out among the Earth representatives. Some wanted to reject the offer completely. Others saw great benefits in joining the galactic community. Captain Kim listened quietly until Ambassador Chen asked for his opinion. When I was facing their fleet, Kim said, I would have given anything for more help. But now that we have time, we should be careful. We should join the Council, but with clear protections for Earth's independence. We can learn from them, and they can learn from us. The room grew quiet as they considered his words. I agree, Ambassador Chen said finally. We will accept membership but insist on our sovereignty, and we want Captain Kim to lead our first delegation to the Council's central world. 2 months later, Captain Kim stood on the bridge of the newly built Earth ship Peace. It was twice the size of the Thunderchild and incorporated both human innovations and alien technology shared during the initial agreements. Lieutenant Park, now promoted to commander, stood beside him. Hard to believe we're about to visit another star system, she said. Kim nodded. The first human delegation to the stars. Who would have thought it would happen like this? Chief Engineer Lee Sun-min joined them, looking at the main view screen where an alien ship waited. I finished studying their FTL drive. It's impressive, but their approach is completely different from what we were developing. Together, we might create something even better. That's the point of the Council now, Kim said. Different species, different ways of thinking, working together. The communications officer called out, Captain, the galactic escort is ready. They're waiting for your signal. Kim took a deep breath. This was a historic moment for humanity. Send this message. This is Captain Kim Jun-ho of Earth Ship Peace. We are ready to depart. The alien captain's response came quickly. Welcome, Captain Kim. The stars await you. The Council is eager to hear the human perspective on many matters. As the ships prepared to leave Earth's solar system together, Kim thought about how much had changed in just a few months. A failed first contact, a desperate battle, and now, a new future for humanity among the stars. Commander Park, he said quietly, make a note in the ship's log. Today marks the beginning of Earth's journey as a galactic power. Do you think they truly respect us now? Park asked. Kim smiled slightly. They do. But just in case they forget, he gestured to the 30 Earth warships now in formation behind them, ready to protect their diplomatic vessel. Each ship had a new symbol painted on its hull, the outline of the Thunderchild with the words, Remember. Human warships are here. I don't think they'll forget, Park said with a smile. The battle that changed everything. Kim nodded and gave the order that would take humanity to the stars. Activate FTL drive. Take us to the Galactic Council. The Peace and its escort of warships disappeared in flashes of light, leaving Earth behind, but carrying its spirit forward into a galaxy that would never be the same.